Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and today I'm going to answer the question, can you really eat carbs and have it help you lose weight? Yes! Oh my gosh. Okay, first off, just do not trust anybody who says that you cannot eat carbs if you want to lose weight. That just doesn't work for women. That's like horrible on the female body. You know who it works really well for? Men. Not for women, works really well for guys. So keep that in mind when you're looking through research and everything else. I cover some of this information that I'm going to go through how to do a carb cycle and everything more detail in my book, The Female Fat Solution, which is on Amazon. If you haven't picked it up, pick up a copy. And then I have done some podcast episodes on this topic on my podcast, The Female Health Solution. Spaghetti, donuts. Yes, absolutely. There's so many diets that are like no carb, cut it out, blah, blah, blah. Ugh. Let's stop spreading that rumor. So if you're finding this information helpful, if you could click that share button and help me in my mission and getting this information out to as many women as possible, I would so love and appreciate you for doing that, because not eating carbs is crazy. Not having carbs in your day is not helpful. It's just not helpful. So carbs are essential and necessary, part of the human nutrition triad of protein, fat, and carb. It's really important that you're getting enough carbohydrate in your diet on a regular basis. The trick is, though, and the secret, if you want to use it for weight loss, is that you carb cycle. That you shift the amount of carbs you're eating day to day, tapering up and down so that you're not eating static the same. So this is the mistake that women make with carbs and in terms of getting their body the right nutrition and everything else, is that you're eating healthy and you're like, oh, look, I'm eating good, great, but you're eating the same every day. So in my program, I have a 12-week program that I work with women more one-on-one, taking them through eating for their hormones, eating for their cycle, eating for stress, eating for thyroid issues, really working on those things that is different for the female physiology. It's meal plan, grocery list, everything else. So I'll put a link below if you guys have questions on that, and we can chat about, different specific things to help you move out of the place that you're stuck towards your goals. But the one thing about carb cycling, I'm not going to go through exactly how to do it. If you want, let me know, and either you can comment below or something if you want to know more about exactly how to do it. But I really want to dive into the benefits of it, because this is where people get led astray. Really led astray. Because you're thinking, oh, so-and-so, hormones, ugh, stress, ugh, yes. So many people hear things, they're like, oh, well, so-and-so cut out carbs, or so-and-so did this, and that helped them lose weight. Well, you're not going to keep it off. It becomes a stressed out state in the female body if you're missing this entire nutrient group. Carbohydrates are a nutrient group. If you eliminate that or cut it down too much, your body will get stressed in a negative way as a reaction to that. That's not good. That's not what you want, right? So it's really important that you're incorporating it in some fashion. And if you want to use it as a technique, you alternate and taper what you're doing, not just eating static all the time. Static meaning like the same, day to day. Even if you're eating healthy, even if you're eating clean, great. Super great. Yes, eat healthy, eat clean, eat, all that stuff. But you're going to want to have carbs. So carbs are essential for energy, number one. Your brain, your entire nervous system runs off of carbs. So you need that. Yep. And you need carbohydrate to upload protein into your system at your max protein absorption. So if you're trying to get leaner, I want to get more muscle, I want to lean out, everything else, and you're like, well, I should just cut carbs to do that. For short periods of time, a lot of people will use that if they're prepping for like a bikini show, but that's not a tactic long term, and it's going to trash your metabolism if you're not doing it right. And all that protein that you're eating, you're not uploading the most that you can from all of that if you're not getting carb with your nutrition. You got to have carb to upload the protein. They go hand in hand. They're like buddies. They're like friends. Oh, look, carb and a protein. Oh, we're going to be friends, and we're going to upload into your system. Yay. I don't know. I made that up. Protein and carb are friends. They could be friends. They could be best friends, proteins and carbs. Anyway, so if you want to know how to do a carb cycle, or if you've tried it before and you're like, oh, I'm not sure I'm doing this right, let me know. And I can talk more about how to do that. But essentially, this is why it's so important. When you are carb cycling, so this is tapered amounts. So some days you're going to be eating more carbs, some days less carbs. And there's a lot of different types of carb cycles, varied amounts, that type of a thing. For women, I do recommend a low point that you do not go below, because you will deplete the body and it will go into a stressed out state, and we don't want that. So it's all about playing with those hormones nicely. So it upregulates your hormones, especially your thyroid. Most of the time when people will go on a restricted diet and they're doing it for a sustained period of time, it will suppress your hormones and it will cause a backlash. Carb cycling doesn't do that, because you drop an amount lower, but then you bring it right back up, right? So you're going through this phasic thing where you get to play off some of these hormones in a different way, but those hormones that are upregulated, things like leptin, ghrelin, important for hunger, feeling satisfied, cravings, all that stuff, and your thyroid, which controls your metabolism, does really, really well when you're carb cycling. So for a lot of women with thyroid issues, and they're like, ugh, I just feel like I can't lose weight, and and this is hard for me. Carb cycling is the secret to getting beyond that. It really, really is. But for women, especially if you've had a thyroid issue and you cut out carbohydrate for a sustained period of time, you enzymatically lose the ability to process those carbs correctly, and you have to reteach your body how to do that. Carb cycle. Carb cycle wins. Carb cycle is winning all day. So it's a really important thing to kind of phase through. But again, the amounts for you may be different than the amounts for somebody else based on what you have going on. So it's important to play around with those numbers and really, really tune into the correct amounts. Another benefit here, when you're carb cycling, because some days are going to be higher amounts of carb, you get to refill your glycogen stores. Actually, yay for carbs. Yay for carbs! Everybody loves carbs. But you get to refill your glycogen stores. So what that means is that when you do a lower carb day, you tap into those glycogen storage units that you have in your body. I call them units. They're not really, it's not really a unit, right? But you deplete them. Now that specifically physiologically has an effect on your body, again, with working with fat burning, everything else. But you don't want to stay there long term, especially for the female body, not healthy long term, because it backlashes for us. So you want to refill those glycogen stores, which does a lot of really great things for your system. Another thing too is it's going to increase your energy overall. Carbs give you energy. If you want to up-level what you're doing and up-level your performance and really up-level everything else, work out harder, lift harder, lift heavier, get faster, all these other things, yet you also want to lean out. So there's this kind of dance that you got to do. I'm going to work out harder, but I can't necessarily eat less because my body needs more fuel because I'm pushing myself harder, right? What do I do? Carb cycle. So days that you're working out really hard, or that you're doing like a long run, or if you're training for a marathon or whatever, boom, higher carb days. Rest days where you're doing different things, lower carb day. Oh, so easy to fit into your lifestyle, yet you have those days where you can push yourself harder in your workout to take your results to the next level. But it's all about matching your nutrition to your energy and to your output to really, move it up a notch. Otherwise, you can get stuck really easily. I'm trying to work out harder, but I don't want to eat more because I'm afraid that I'm not going to lose weight that way. Well, especially for the female body, that's not how it responds necessarily in losing weight anyway. Yeah, if you're working out harder and you want more out of your body and want a better result, feed it more. Fuel it more. Not just feeding with like random stuff. Fuel it more. And carbs is one of the ways to do that. So it really provides a fantastic result. It's better to carb cycle at the beginning of your cycle towards the end. Yes, Sheila! Thank you for asking that. You're like right on cue. You would think that I would have asked her to say that right now. I didn't ask her. No. But carb cycling is the most beneficial and can get the best result when you are doing it at the beginning 2 weeks of your cycle. That's days 1 through 14. of your cycle. Day 1 is the first day of your period, and you do this for the first 2 weeks. And again, if you're wondering about, hey, how do I do this, or is there a better, phasic routine than others for women? Yes, there is, and there's a great starting point that I recommend for a lot of women. But these are the days to do it during, because estrogen is higher in your body at this point, and estrogen burns carbs naturally. So you are tapping into a secret of the hormones and working with those hormones in a completely different way. Amazing. Totally amazing. So if you're carb cycling during these days, days 1 through day 14, you're going to actually have even a more increased benefit to said carb cycling, which is also going to up-level your results. So what about, this is a question I get all the time too. What about if you're not in days 1 through 14? You're in the progesterone phase. Can you still carb cycle? Sure, you absolutely can. It just is probably not going to have the same result or feel the same in your body, because progesterone is more fat burning and has different functions mainly in your body and in your system. But again, these are all things that I work with women and I walk you through very closely in my 12-week program to make sure you're implementing it correctly, you're feeling the right results, you're moving to the next level, the next step all the time, and you learn how to do this for your own body and system so then you can do it on your own. Yes, Patty, isn't that amazing? Yay! So again, if you're finding this helpful, please click that share button. You can share it in a group if you have a group of people that you have, do fitness or recipes or something with, because this can be so helpful for women that have been stuck or frustrated at a certain level trying to cut carbs or count calories or work out harder and they're not getting a result. This is literally like this little secret that provides a whole new world of results. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. Thank you for watching, staying tuned this long. Again, I will put that link below. So if you have any questions and you want to chat, I am more than happy to talk about any questions that you have and answer anything, just to help get you started in the right direction. All right, everybody have a great night.